One of the most important things in all of sports is all-out speed, and it's just as important for the sport of football. Every year, the NFL hosts a combine, and the drill that is paid attention to the most is easily the 40-yard dash. So you would think, with all of that attention, that the top 10 fastest times of all time would do well in the NFL, right? Well, let's look back at the top 10 fastest times and how they did in the NFL. At number 10, and most controversial of all, with a time of 4.27, is wide receiver Henry Ruggs. Coming out of Alabama, even before the combine, he was highly touted and was projected to be a top 15 pick by most analysts. Then came draft day, where he went 12th overall to the Raiders. And after that, we all know what happened. He got caught speeding over 100 miles an hour. There went his career. He only played one season and was a huge bust for the Raiders. Number 9 overall is tied with Ruggs, Stanford Routt. Most of you guys probably haven't heard of him, but on draft day, he was known for his blazing speed and potential to be a lockdown corner. Routt had high expectations. However, despite some flashes and moments of defensive prowess, his career ultimately fell short. He never started 16 games in a season and never surpassed 50 tackles in a season. And at the end of the day, he just struggled to find his footing and establish himself as a reliable corner and lasted just 6 years in the league. Number 8 is Marquise Godwin. He had the same time as Ruggs with a 4.27, but their careers went differently. Godwin had a lot less hype after the combine and was drafted in the 3rd round, 78th overall to the Bills, and never caught his footing. He only started one game in his first 3 seasons, and outside of an impressive 2017 season, he never surpassed 500 yards. Another disappointing pick. At the number 7 spot, with a time of 4.26, is Jerome Mathis. He entered the league with high expectations, drafted in the 4th round. Despite this, Mathis struggled to make a significant impact for the Texans. In his 3 seasons with them, from 2005 to 2007, Mathis managed to play in just 17 games, recording a total of 21 receptions and 389 yards and 3 touchdowns. Those stats were far from the production expected from him. Moreover, his injuries plagued Mathis throughout his entire career, forcing him into an early retirement. Number 6, Tariq Woolen. With a 4.26 time, there isn't much to say about him that hasn't been said already. He's been very impressive, and so far has dodged the curse. He was also snubbed from Defensive Rookie of the Year, and is also one of the 2 players on this list to make a Pro Bowl. Even with a step down in his sophomore season, he's been a great pick, of course, by the Seahawks. At the number 5 spot, with a 4.26 time, is Dre Archer. He's probably the most disappointing of all. Drafted in the 3rd round by the Steelers, he lasted just 2 seasons with them, from 2014 to 2015. He played in 20 games, managing just 10 receptions for 50 yards and not a single touchdown. Additionally, he recorded 40 rushing yards. But at the end, he failed to establish himself as a dynamic playmaker. He was a bust and was overshadowed by Le'Veon Bell. Number 4 is Rondell Melendez. He had a time of 4.24 and is the only player on this list drafted in the 7th round. His 40 time really didn't build any hype. This is slightly due to it being 1999, and the 40 didn't have the recognition it does today, but during his tenure, Melendez struggled to secure a role with the Falcons, as most 7th rounders do. And his limited NFL career, Melendez appeared in just 7 games, amassing only 5 receptions for 87 yards, labeling him as another bust. Number 3 and most popular of all is Chris Johnson. He ran a 4.24, and along with Tariq Woolen, are the only two to evade the curse. Most of you probably already know him. He was the Rookie of the Year, 3-time Pro Bowler, and a 2,000-yard rusher in the 2009 season. CJ2K was truly something special, and is the only one on this list to have a great, lengthy career. Unfortunately for number 2 on this list, he barely even had a career. Kalen Barnes, a cornerback out of Baylor, ran a 4.23 and ended up getting drafted in the late 6th round in the 2022 NFL Draft. But he never had the opportunity to play at all. As of right now, he isn't on a team and seems like his NFL door is permanently shut closed. He never played an NFL snap. And finally, number 1, John Ross. Most people know John Ross solely because of his 40 time, a 4.22, which absolutely boosted his NFL draft stock and made him a popular name, especially on social media. He then got drafted by the Bengals 9th overall. He was expected to be a huge part of this faltering offense for years to come. Unfortunately, things seemed to never go his way. The injury bug was a huge part of his career. He dealt with across his entire career, and after just 5 years, he retired without a single standout season, proving yet another victim of this curse. At the time of making this video, the Combine just ended, and the 40 record has been broken yet again by Texas receiver Xavier Worthy, a 4.21. With even more buzz surrounded by this time, we must ask ourselves, will this curse have itself another victim?